Going to allocate you and the SC 2 hours between 9 o'clock and 11 for you to conclude the presentation of evidence. And then we will take a comfort break. When we come from comfort break, we are going to take 3 or 4 speakers before 1 o'clock. They will be asking you questions. And then we will take another break at 1. When we come back, we will take 2 or more speakers.
Recording in progress.
Which will take us from 2 o'clock until 16 hours. And then take another break. When we come back, we will run until 18 hours. We will break at 18 hours. And then when we come back, we run until 20 hours. At the time we break at 20 hours, we will make an assessment of the number of speakers that we would have taken today. And then if the number would be sufficient in the opinion of the chairperson, we can then decide to call it a day and finish the business tomorrow. But in the event the chair is not satisfied that a sufficient number of members has spoken, we may extend it until 22 hours, 23 hours, or 00 hours. So I just felt that I should state this so that we are clear, all of us, before the commencement of the proceedings, how we intend to run the activities of today. Thank you so much. With those remarks, Senior Counsel, the ball is in your court. Let's start rolling. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honourable Chair, Honourable Members, Minister Mchunu. Good morning. I think the one housekeeping matter you've already addressed, that's the question that was asked by Honourable Malema about the exact timestamp in the audio recording which you provided on Friday, Minister. So hopefully you'll get that to us. That's the clip where you allege that General Nkwanazi had threatened you or used threatening language, whichever. The other issue is that you have requested us to play a clip of the 5th of March Portfolio Committee meeting, where again General Nkwanazi had made allegations that you know Brown Mogotsi. Although I must say, Honourable Chair, that it's the transcript, the full transcript of what he alleged and your response is in the transcript, which is in bundle 4 at pages 22 to 162. But you had requested the exact clip, and we'll comply with it. Otherwise, Chair, if I may just in advance, well, firstly, apologize to the Minister that occasionally it might appear that me or Mr. Matlala, we're not paying attention to his responses, where we're trying to exchange some documents. And today I think it's even worse with the little cramped space that we have. We also work together as a team, so occasionally she would either refresh my memory or ask me something, so it's no disrespect for you. I think it's from us being used to being in court, where you always tell the witness, you ask a question, and if you respond, look at the judge, don't look at me. And then in that time we might, but in this setting, we're looking directly across each other. So no disrespect is intended, Minister, so we appreciate your indulgence. we're going to deal with 4 topics in the time that we have available. Brown Mchunu, the Matlala affidavit, the appointment of Cedric Kabende, and then you wish to highlight from your affidavit discrepancies in Mkhunazi's account. From a house point of view, we also want to point out that the statement that you made about meeting with the president and so on, it's not in your statement. It could be an oversight on the part of, because I recall, ironically enough, that we had it in our draft that we presented to your team. So that may explain that it's a genuine oversight. Yeah. So just in relation to Brown Mchunu, the allegations, as I said, it is contained in the transcript which I've referred to, and the allegation. Or let me first ask you, because you've requested this, could we play the particular clip that you've requested to be played? Is that right?
Said that, I quote, the minister is briefed. He has just arrived in Lusikisiki, end quote. You will recall, colleagues, that we had an incident in Lusikisiki, a mass murder that happened. And the minister of police had gone visiting the families and that crime scene. So after this communication, the provincial commissioner called the chief of staff.
Chair, just one moment. I thought we would start with my comments on the 5th.
Yes.
On the 5th
So,
of
yeah, no, you're
of
absolutely
March. And
right,
then go to
Minister. The first clip is the 5th of March before the Portfolio Committee.
Maybe ask to start with Mkhwanazi's.
Just while we find that clip, it is on page, it is Exhibit Bundle 4, the transcript of the meeting of the 5th of March, starts at page 22, and it's on the paginated page 143, type page 119, and this is when the Provincial Commissioner addresses the committee. His address starts at page 139. The reference to Brown Mchunu is at page 143.
But I think I picked that's something that Provincial Commissioner was saying about some fellow. 2 weeks ago, it does happen in a week or 2 or 3. I think a week and a half ago, I got somebody insisting that there's somebody who's going around saying he works with me wherever I am, he is there. And
I said, show me the face. It got to a point where he showed me the face, and I told him, I don't know this person. And a week before, there was another person in Mchunu, who said is my young brother. My younger brother died in 2005, and I don't have any other. And so, when the person says you really, so I think we must be very circumspect when people come to us and say an associate of this and that. I'm not associate to the person that John Connor is referring to. But I appreciate whatever they discussed, and then those things come out so that I understand who is saying what, where, and so on.
And Minister, is that the clip you wanted played? And it sounds like it corresponds with your response to the Portfolio Committee, which is at page 160 of the paginated papers, at 136 of the type pages, from about line 7 or 8, where you said, but I think I picked up something that Provincial Commissioner Mchunu is saying about some fellow 2 weeks ago, and it does happen in a week, 2 or 3. I think a week and a half ago, I got somebody insisting that there's somebody going around saying he works with me wherever I am. He is there. I said, show me the face. And it got to a point he showed me the face, and I told him, I don't know this person. And just earlier, we've already referred to Mchunu, who got a phone call that's at page 143 from line 13-14. He said, this is Mchunu, on 29 October, to be precise, I received a phone call, Chair, a phone call and a message that came from a gentleman who said to me he is a close associate of the Minister of the Police, and that is Mr. Brown. He referred to himself as Brown Mogotsi. This Mr. Brown Mogotsi, who had described himself as a close associate to the Minister, indicated to me, which made me believe that it is a close associate of the Minister, because he said to me he was joining the Minister of Police to visit the Lusikisiki massacre, and that happened last year, and because I did not trust him, I called the Chief of Staff to try and establish who is this gentleman. And the Chief of Staff did confirm to me that indeed he is a very person close to the Minister of Police. But what surprised me about this gentleman is that he then indicated to me on a message that he sent me when he said there is an internal attempt to discredit me through the defeating the ends of justice case. Anyway, the rest is not particularly relevant. Okay. So you also wanted to deal. You also wanted to deal with your responses, which is that you gave to the Ethics Committee. You recall that there was a complaint that was lodged by Honourable Member Schikkeling, which to the committee, and if you could just turn to Annexure SM2 at page 540, it's the Annexure in Volume 2 to your witness statement. Do you have it in front of you there? At page 541, This is from your affidavit in paragraph 8. You reference the exact time of the recording. And then you also refer to the to your response, which I've where you just to in the last sentence, I think we must be very circumspect when people come to us and say, I'm an associate of this and that. I'm no associate to the person that General Mchunu referred to. Then you say at paragraph 12, I deem it prudent to mention that following the Provincial Commissioner's address, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee did not pose any questions or comment, and neither did he afford the honourable members an opportunity to do so. Had there been a direct question from any member asking me whether I know Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, I would have answered in the affirmative. And then at paragraph 13, subsequent to the Portfolio Committee sitting, I was made aware of an audio recording between myself and someone I had spoken to. I do confirm that the telephone conversation is true, but unbeknown to me, it was being recorded. In that recording, the person had asked me a direct question, which was not asked in the Portfolio Committee meeting, on whether I know Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, to which I responded that he was just a comrade from Northwest and not my close associate. Further stating in isiZulu, and the translation loosely is, I do not smoke tobacco with him, emphasizing that he was not a close associate of mine. And then he said the recording is available on TikTok. Allegations regarding the minister's alleged association with Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mokgotsi. In that statement, I mentioned that I do know and have met Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, but further mentioned that he is just a comrade and not an associate of mine. And then at paragraph 17, you refer to the Oxford Dictionary and the difference between an associate and a comrade. You said, associate and comrade, as per the Oxford Dictionary, the word associate, which is a noun, means a partner or companion in business or at work, whilst the word comrade, which is also a noun, refers to a colleague or a fellow member of an organization. It is in this context that I denied Mr. Brown Mokgotsi being an associate of mine. Close or otherwise, I rather stated that he is a comrade, as we are members of the same political party and have engaged on party and service delivery matters on a number of occasions. Do you want to elaborate any further, Minister?
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, Evidence Leader and honourable members. As you heard, in the Portfolio Committee of the 5th of March, after all other reports, I was asked by the Chair whether I wished to make comments, and I made 4 comments. The first comment that I made says, I was approached by somebody who says there's somebody who goes around as per the clip, saying they work with me and they travel with me. And I asked to see the photo. In fact, we had a small conversation, after which I said, I wish I could see the fellow. And if he called, and then he showed me the photo. Now, I don't mention where this happened, and I don't mention who the person on the photo was, partly because with time constraints and I wasn't necessary. That was not the focus of the portfolio committee. So I was just relating a story, my story. So now that I'm here, I need to make it clear. The person that was on the photo was not Brown Mkhotsi, even though I didn't say it that way in the portfolio comment, but it wasn't. That's why on looking at the photo, I say, I don't know this person, which is not Mkhotsi, which is not Mkhotsi. It's another person that I didn't know. So I say to the fellow showing me on his cell phone, I don't know this person. Because I thought they might have cloned a face of one of my staff members for one reason or the other. So I passed. That's my first comment. There is no way that that reference was a lie, because it was my story. I was sharing it with the portfolio committee, leading to somewhere. What is the second comment that I make? Second comment is that I tell another story, which is the second story, of somebody phoning me while I was at work somewhere about somebody who is talking to people in Witbank, saying he's my younger brother. Then I say to that person, I don't have a younger brother in that context because he perished in 2005. So deal with the fellow who is using my name to that person that was talking to me. That's the second comment that I made. And there's no way it can be a lie, because I was talking about what had happened to me. And the third comment is then I make a caution to the portfolio committee to say we should be circumspect. That's the word, that's the term I used. We should be circumspect when your name is dropped here and there. It doesn't mean that it is like that. Having related that those two personal stories or personal experiences. Then I make the fourth comment, now directly relating to what General Mkhwana had said about Mkhotsi being my associate. So I say the person that General Mkhwana is referring to is not my associate, it's just a comrade. This is now Mkhotsi directly. Now, so that is what I did. Now, what do I mean by, what was my personal understanding about an associate, even today? I know a number of honorable members here, others for many, many, many years. But they may not necessarily be my associates, at least the way I understand associate. They are people that I know. Like Honorable Albert Mngwangu, I knew him long ago, when we were vehemently opposed to each other in KZN. But I have never regarded him as my associate. It's just somebody I know.
Thank you.
Now, that is what I was explaining there. And there's no way I could have lied there, because the two comments are my personal story. The third comment is a precaution, to be circumspect, and the last comment is then to deny. Now, what complicated things in my view is that when General Mkhwana made his statement on the 6th of July, he then tells the public something twisted. He says, Minister Mchunu said he doesn't know Brown Mkhotsi in Parliament, which I never said. I never said. But he tells the public something twisted, saying, I said in Parliament, I don't know Mkhotsi. When I actually said I don't know the person who was on the phone, not Mkhotsi, and that was not Mkhotsi. He told that
to fit his narrative if he was not making a genuine error on his part. One of the two. He can explain what he was doing, whether it was an error or he said something to the public that was calculated to suit his narrative. I never said in the portfolio committee, I don't know Mkhotsi. I said he is not my associate. Somewhere, I think it was in here in the portfolio committee or no, in the ad hoc committee or in the Matlala Commission, he said it doesn't differentiate between knowing. He even spoke about a friend, the difference between a friend, knowing, comrade. He said something like it's similar to him. That is to him, not to me. I differentiate. That's why I use the dictionary to say, in fact, from where I sit, once you say associate, I would think of some partnership, some work relations.
I think, Minister, I think I, as evidence leader, I accept that you know him and that he is not an associate of yours, as you explained, and that he's a comrade. I think I understand the
Yes.
difference between the two.
Okay.
An associate is a bit closer in a business sense or some other sense where there's some kind of relationship. So
Yes,
that is...
I do want to conclude, though, and say, when I heard that there are members of this Honorable House who have taken me to the Ethics Committee and Code of Conduct, after which I was given a deadline to submit an affidavit, I did so, freely so. But, well, up to now, I haven't been called and so on. But I did make an effort to clarify this matter. And it is the first time I clarify this matter as I do in an organized fashion since Mkhwana has made that statement.
So you're satisfied that your
I'm
response
satisfied,
has now
except
been...
the issue of the lady, that lady pretended to be worried about what was happening between me and General Mkhwana after the IP'd kind of conduct to him, speaking like she wanted to sort of bring about an understanding so that we could, from where she sits, reconcile, which I was fine with. I said, okay, I will brief you. So I briefed her, relaxed and so on for quite some time, 30, 40 minutes. And I didn't know that she was recording me. Now, I only learned the following day that she was actually recording me. And then when I followed up, I realized that she was on a platform that is associated or is said to be administered by somebody who is a member of MKP, that is Umkhonto weSizwe Party. So I thought this lady must have been a sniper of sorts, thinking that I would sort of say something that she would have needed. And I just, unknowing to me that she was recording, just stuck to what we were discussing until the end. But underline the fact that in the conversation between her and myself upon Brian Mkhotsi, I do say angpemina, not requested by her, out of volition, explaining myself. I said, angpemina, and this is Zulu, when you say awupemina, you mean you are not close. It's known by everybody that in this is Zulu, when you say ayangpemina,
So, Mr. Minister...
You are not an associate. That's what I need to explain.
Honourable Minister, can we just move a bit forward? We have a limited time. But I just want to be satisfied that you're satisfied that you said about Mkhotsi. So for how long have you known Mkhotsi?
Since 2017.
2017. And you know him as a comrade who's in the same political party? Only.
In the period, I've never asked him whether he's married or not. I've never gone to his home. I've never gone to look at soccer or restaurant. I've never inquired about his personal life, whether he's employed or not employed. because we just occasionally talk about this and that. Thank you.
So, can I just put something to you, which comes from one of the other witnesses who will testify? It is, I suppose, legally speaking, double hearsay, but this is your platform. This is an opportunity for you to respond to it, and the witness who will be called will also be questioned about it. But this witness says that he was told that you had met, that you, Mchunu, and Vusi Matlala had met, and that Matlala was also sponsoring your son. Apparently you have, what's it called? Trust or something. Okay. So, excuse me, Mr. No. But apparently the evidence will be that you had met with Mchunu and Matlala. Have you ever met with them together in one room on one occasion?
Never. I've never met Matlala alone. I've never met him in the company of Mchunu, and possibly in any other capacity. He's not somebody that I know. He's not somebody that I've spoken to, directly or indirectly. He's not somebody that I've had anything to do with Matlala. So I don't know him.
Oh, yeah. So, Minister, if I may just turn to, can I take you to Exhibit Bundle 3, EB 7. That is an extract of the WhatsApps that we sourced from the Matlanga Commission. These are extracts from their WhatsApp bundle. And on page 78, at the bottom, there appears to be, these are WhatsApp from Mchunu. The bottom there, it seems to be a WhatsApp addressed to you. And then on page 78, this appears to be addressed to you. Minister, I'm going to get the case number and this judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. This is the matter now which either Sabia or the minister can charge Kumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy, having this kind of policing. The good thing is now that there is not, these are not allegations, but a court judgment. These are apparently signal messages. Then on the following page, 80, there's a WhatsApp, Sunday the 26th. Morning, Minister. I'm in Durban and can confirm that they got nothing on Phoenix Saga, and our contact says they couldn't even go to any bank. By the way, the girl is here also. Tomorrow we are signing the practice notes on the Northwest PEC matter for the SCA in PTA with Senior Counsel. The matter will be a month from tomorrow. Then it's something about a briefing. Any other? Yeah. So Minister, those appear to be addressed to you and your comment, please.
Yes. Number one, I think these two messages they were sent to me coming from Mchunu, if I have some recollection of them. Now, I wouldn't have responded to both, and I think I never responded to both, simply because I didn't quite understand what he was referring to in the first one, talking about judgment and all of those. And it wasn't, or it wouldn't have been for the first time that Mchunu would send to you something that you wouldn't understand unless you sat down. And so he sent that, and I looked at that, and I didn't have quite a good understanding of what he was talking about. But I didn't inquire, I didn't follow up. I took it as one of the messages that he would send to you, and you would know what they are referring to. On the second one, although you have made them disappear, first message, I do remember, well, that those messages that he sent to me, I think I do have a recollection of me receiving them. But I didn't know what he was referring to in those messages either. If you could play them again, just to see message 1, 2, 3, I had no collection of what he was talking about, and I don't think I went back to him to inquire, what is it? What is this thing that you are talking about? It's the same as the message that was referred to by General Mkhonazi of Mchunu, talking about me arriving in Lusikisiki, because I had not informed Mchunu, and I don't think there's any staff member who had informed him. And when General Mkhonazi made mention of this, I thought that somewhere Brown Mchunu must have been sitting at home, looking at TV, seeing me alighting from the car, because it was played live. And he types a message to General Mkhonazi to say, Minister is arriving, and General Mkhonazi thinks that he is in Lusikisiki. I don't remember whatsoever Mchunu seeing him in Lusikisiki, and I wouldn't have known what he was there for. Okay. But TV, I mean, can be played, and we can research that to see if there was any face of it was a very serious matter, and they would have been seen somewhere by somebody that Ufunan Mkhotsila and so on. So he must have been typing this thing sitting at home somewhere, Minister is arriving, which was seen by everybody in the public. And a notice had been given the previous day that I would be in Lusikisiki, and it went to public. And so he must have been doing, because I've sort of concluded afterwards that he's quite a bit crafty in somehow.
Sorry, Minister, sorry to interrupt you. I need to just move a bit. So you confirmed that you did get this message from
If I recall very well,
yeah.
to the best of my ability, yes,
do you have Mkhotsi's number on your phone?
Yes, I do.
So when he messaged you, you would...
Yes, I would see that it's Mkhosi. This message comes from Mkhosi, and I think I do remember these ones. But I didn't know
This is, I'm not so clued up about this, but this is apparently on Signal.
Pardon?
This is on Signal.
And WhatsApp, he would send those messages.
So what is, and for your comment, but the one message that you see at the bottom of page 78 of EB7 is a message that is sent on the 31st of December at, is that 11:18 or 18:48?
That's 11:18.
Yeah, it seems to be at 11:18 that you received a message. And of course, that's the same day on which you issued the directive on the 31st of December 2024. Is that a coincidence? Is there anything that one can read into that? That you were in Signal or WhatsApp contact with Mchunu on the 31st of December 2024 when you issued the directive?
Where is that message on the 31st?
There isn't a message. It's just a. It just shows. Well, as I can't go any further than what appears from the WhatsApp.
Where is it?
So maybe my question is this, and you can, if you can also confirm it, that on the 31st of December 2024,
I don't
you received
remember. I don't remember sending any message to Mchunu on the 31st, but unless I see it, I don't remember at all. And I think I was quite busy for the longest time on the 31st, writing the directives. I don't think I did, but let me see the message.
All right. So can perhaps then can we move on to Matlala?
Yes, we can, on a note that I don't think I sent a message to Mchunu on the 31st. I don't remember at all. I don't remember at all.
It is a.
But we can pass.
It's from him to you.
It's from him.
So it's not
from-
alleged that
to-
you
to
sent
me
him a message.
on the 31st.
Yes.
What was he saying?
I'm not sure whether it's not apparent, Minister, from the whether this is the message that appears on the following page on 79, which I've already read to you about the Constitutional Court judgment that was issued on the 20th of December. I'm not sure whether that's the same message.
Yeah, neither do I remember or have any recollection of him sending me a message on the 31st. I did see some message said to have come from him to me at Matlala Commission, but I don't want to get closer to that because I just saw it on TV. But I don't remember such a message from him to me on the 31st, nor do I remember what subject we would have been speaking about. Until I get that, I can then have a better comment.
If I can just move on, Minister, to Matlala and his affidavit, which is at SM 44. It's in volume 2. It's an affidavit that is deposed to by Vusimusi Matlala. It's date stamped the 22nd of September of this year, 2025, and it was commissioned by an officer at CMAX on the 22nd of September 2025. So, can I start by asking, how did you obtain this affidavit from a person who is being kept at CMAX? And I think colloquially we all associate CMAX with high security and persons who are detained there because of its high risk, high security. Would I be correct more or less in that understanding? That CMAX is not just your ordinary prison like a Polsmoor or Drakenstein. It's high security. So how did you obtain this affidavit from him?
I got this affidavit from my lawyers. And they said they had a chat with Matlala's lawyers at their level, in their own time, their own way. And then they gave me documents that they said they received from Matlala's lawyers. How they, any other thing happened, I don't have the knowledge, but I do know that my lawyers did give me the statement a couple of days or so ago to say they have this kind of a document.
So was the sole purpose of obtaining this affidavit, or procuring an affidavit from Mr. Matlala, that he denies knowing you?
On several occasions since I started preparing, I have been emphasizing to my lawyers that I don't know Matlala. I repeated that and I said to them, my lawyers, I'm not fooling you. I'm not playing any game with you. I am honestly saying to you, I have never met Matlala. I have never seen him in my naked eye. I have never had a talk directly or indirectly with him. And I've been repeating it over and over, and at the same time saying, I know Mkhotsi on the other hand, and how I got to know Mkhotsi, and how he's not my associate. And I think they then took the initiative that they took to inquire on their own, and they got this affidavit. And this affidavit, when I read it, it reflects what my understanding is, that I have never met a person. The only time I got to talk more about Matlala, other than coming across the name from newspapers and social platforms, it was on the 20th of December when we started talking to General Masimula about the contract. Then that's when I started talking more about Matlala. Before that, I just come across the name Matlala and the stories about Tembisa and all of that. But I had never heard anything else to talk about Matlala.
Minister, what prompted you, just because you raised the issue of the Tshwane health contract, what prompted you to make further inquiries about the award of that contract? Because that was done and in fact signed off by the National Commissioner. I think before you became the Minister of Police. The contract, as we know, subsequently it was cancelled after he was already paid, I think a substantial 50 million or 25 million or something like that. So the question is, so what prompted you to make those inquiries which then resulted in the contract being cancelled?
On the
Okay, before you respond, Minister, let me recognize Honorable Malema.
Thanks, Chair. Good morning, Minister and colleagues. The SC is raising a very important point and is leaving it, where the Minister says, I never solicited an affidavit from Matlala. My lawyers are the ones, after listening to me so many times, they went to solicit the affidavit from Matlala. and I wanted the SC to ask as to, are you saying your lawyers acted without an instruction? Because lawyers act on instructions of their clients. And Minister should understand the implications of what he is saying about his lawyers, because they can be reported to LPC, that on their own volition, go to a maximum prison, obtain an affidavit. Is that without his instructions and they're his lawyers? Is that the understanding that the minister wants to share with us?
Senior counsel, that is sustained.
Should I refer to Honorable Malema as my junior counsel? I intended to ask about that. I'm mindful also of my 2-hour limitation, and I suppose Honorable Malema can perhaps defer that question to Honorable Minister when his turn comes. But you've heard the point,
Yes.
and
Yes.
maybe if you want to respond to Honorable Malema.
My response is, Honorable Malema is quite correct. I did express a wish that if all possible, if it were to be possible, I could wish to get an understanding, even via such a document, from that person, because it was full of everywhere that, I mean, journalists in every turn, they write me and they put dots and they say, I get something of a lifestyle from, without naming what is it that I've ever received from Matlala, or what word has ever gone between me and Matlala, but they say he funds my lifestyle. And the strangest thing, Chair, is that I have nothing that I can, they just on their own connect me, and it has never happened. So the express response is that I did express a wish that if I could, I mean, if anything could be possible. So I was wishing, and they carried out that wish.
So it was on your instructions that your lawyers approached Matlala in CMAX to depose to this affidavit.
Yes.
But Minister, if you don't know Matlala at all, you've never met him, that's your evidence?
That's my evidence.
Yes, so why would you want to obtain an affidavit from a person who has all these allegations against him and that's imprisoned at a high security prison? Why would our Minister of Police want to be associated with a person like that?
The question, or the answer to that question could be another question. Why would the minister not wish to get the word from such a person who people out there are trying so hard to associate with me when I'm not associated with him? Why would the public not be interested in getting to know what he has to say if it were all to be possible? I even want to say that I so wish that the Madanga Commission or even the ad hoc committee could call him to come here to attest or to give a testimony on his own whether he really knows me. So the question is, the response to that is another question. Why would I spare any effort at all, seeing that everybody is interested in making me get, or in connecting me, in trying to connect me with Matlala, when I am in fact, not at all connected to him. So I wouldn't spare any moment, and I expressed a wish. But I was on the 20th evidence leader on the 20th of December, answering your question when we took the diversion. In the interest of time, if I may proceed.
Okay. Can I just also, for the record, Honourable Chair, Honourable Members, and Minister Mchunu, that when I earlier referenced that the National Commissioner had by then signed the Swanee contract. It was, in fact, just signed by someone in supply chain, but the contract itself was signed in June of 2024. Now, I had already put this to you, but again, just for the record, I'd indicated that a witness will be called to say that Matlala had a business relationship with you to support your campaign to become the ANC president or deputy president, and had also made some contribution to your, I think, for your son.
Yes, to respond to that, I have no knowledge of such. Now, when I saw something like dinner, I saw something like a list of people who are said to have come to Cape Town for dinner, invited supposedly by myself. It almost shocked me, because I had never had any discussion with anyone, Brown Mchunu to be exact, about any dinner anywhere, about any contribution anywhere, and so on. So I saw all these things for the first time as we do this. As a matter of fact, I have a diary that is included here.
Okay.
To start with, I saw the list when I inquired. What list of guests are these? Because in January 8 dinner, it doesn't happen the way I'm hearing is said to have happened. You don't have your own dinner within dinner. You just go there as invited and you get allocated a table. You don't come with
Just
your
to assist Minister also perhaps to speed up, I'm sure that honourable members will also ask you questions on this, but you deal also with the January 8 celebrations on page 82 to 88 of your statement,